Hello everybody! Welcome back once again to the Lost Odyssey walkthrough. Alright, so we are in the middle of Numara. And, I think... Boy, have I already... Yeah, I think I've got everything done over here. Street is linked to the lower town where the military port is. Beyond that, well, go down there and take a look for yourself. You know, do we want to go down here? Yeah, I don't know. Let's have a look. I know at some point we need to go speak with the little girl about the lost dog, but let's have a look around here first. The Queen's finally back, but she's so tired from her journey that she didn't have a single word for us. Oh, sad. Feels so good sitting here. Wait, what? She's not sitting. He's coming off the... Okay, well, alright, liar. Do you really think General Kakanis is after the Queen's throne? Not that ferreting out spies is really a Queen's job, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah. This canal flows down to the port and then connects to the ocean. See the seagulls flying around? And this place looks amazing. Holy crap. Look at that view. What's with... Oh, I was going to say, what's with that tree growing out in the middle of the canal, but it's not really the canal. There's some outcropping. What do we have here? Mana capsule. Alright, let's check inside here. Coming in. Alright, Maya Family Art Studio. Sticky tapes. Oops. Did I go too far? I did. Dang it. Dang it. Back inside. Back inside. Ooh, excuse me. Mint powder. Boom, 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 boom. Whew! Ah, art is a grueling pursuit. Down in the trenches, it's tough to tell whether or not you're improving. If you could bring me something to serve as inspiration that'd help me get the ball rolling, I think I can make something new if I had some crystal fragments from the Crimson Forest. Sure wish someone would bring me one. Okay, well, we might be able to make that happen. You know, after we raid your whole house. Healing herb. It's just a seed of terror. Okay, sounds very frightening. 10 G's. It's just like literally stealing their life savings. Even feels bad. Oh my! Look at this place. This looks fun. Mysterious perfumes for the ladies. What do you think of this sculpture? Isn't it just mesmerizing how the line meets with that surface? Yeah, it is. It's mesmerizing. I'm totally mesmerized right now. Alright, let's get out of here. I think that's that. I'm gonna save here for no reason other than why not? Boy, I hadn't saved since the White Boa guest area. Jeez. Sub Chief, you again, huh? I better not catch you loitering. Fishing line for the first time in my many years, but I guess my skills have left me. The fish took off with my rod. What? It's been a pretty big fish, or you're a pretty weak dude. See how wide the road is? There's so military vehicles after exiting their base in the port. Okay. Don't see any children around. I guess they've found some secret hideout to play around in again. Oh man, there's no seeds here? Oh, come on. Come on now. Oh, there it is. Seed obtained. That's what I thought. Reminds me to go buy this thing, but they don't have it here. Oh, sad. Poor mom. You've got people going on about the queen and the general right now, but me, I don't really care about anything like that. Okay, well, good for you. That's why we hid the treasure in... Yeah. Agreed. Whoa. What are you guys? You want to join our club? Club? Grown-ups aren't allowed usually, but if you insist, we can put you through the initiation trial. Yeah. Alright, find our treasures and bring them back here. Mine has a red balloon, and it's hidden near something of the same color. Mine's a model of a gondola. I put it right next to something that looks just like it. Think you can find it? Mine is a doll with a dress. She loves to go shopping down this road. If you can find them, bring them back here. Okay. Sure thing, kids. Whoa, that's quite a lady you've got with you. Isn't it great to be attractive? Are you having fun? What? Let's see here. I'm just gonna say yes. Sure got it easy. Me, I'm not looking for the world. I just wish I was a bit more popular with the ladies. Well, you know, I hear that. What are you doing in the old town? If I catch you in any funny business, I'll slap the cuffs on you just like that. Okay, alright. Alright, Chief. Alright, what do we got here? Doll in a dress. Okay. What the heck? Is it? Katila family house. Well, there's a little... There he goes. Blinding powder. Mom said the kids shouldn't touch the bookshelf. If we broke or messed up anything, she'd get mad at us again. Oh, we're gonna blame it on the kids. Shh, be quiet. Mom knows me. Alright, what have we got here? Gonna do some reading. The Brave Little Boy. Oh, this is part 2. Well, I don't want to read part 2 if I have to read part 1 first, right? Alright, The Brave Little Boy, part 1. Once there was a little boy who was very brave. He was also very well behaved, so his family loved him very much. In a nearby mountain, there was an evil monster who liked to cause trouble for the people in town, ruining their crops and kidnapping their children. He was strong, his fangs were sharp, and his body was covered with tough scales, so that none of the soldiers in the land were strong enough to defeat him. One day, the brave little boy saw how distressed the townspeople were. "Why is everyone crying?" he asked his mother. "The evil monster kidnapped the princess," she answered. "Why was the princess kidnapped?" the boy asked. "The monster likes little children and beautiful princesses the most because their meat is soft and succulent," answered the mother. "Why isn't anyone helping the princess?" the boy asked. The mother answered, "The soldiers tried to rescue her, but they were all killed by the monster. The monster was one of the strongest in the land. Even when every soldier in town banded together to fight him, he just opened his enormous mouth and swallowed them up all at once." "But mother," the boy exclaimed, "doesn't he have any weaknesses?" "The monster has no scales on the tip of his tail," the mother said, "so when you touch it, they say it pains him terribly. But the monster is crafty, and he never shows his tail to anyone. He always keeps his enemy in front of him." Upon hearing that, his mother, the brave little boy, had a brilliant idea. To be continued. Alright. Part 2. Sneaking out of town one day, the brave little boy was spotted by his friend, the little bird. "Where are you going?" But this totally sounds like the Hobbit, right? And the old thrush. "Where are you going? The monster is ahead, and it's dangerous." "That's exactly what I need your help with." "Could you go to the other side of the mountain and peck the monster on the head for me? You're small, and you can do it while flying." The bird perched on the little boy's shoulder. "All right, you are my friend, so I'll help you." The boy and the bird climbed the mountain. The bones of the monster's victims were scattered across the mountainside, and the monster's fearsome bellow grew louder and louder. "Here I go," said the bird as it took off, and the boy collected some sharp, pointy stones and put them in his pocket. As he approached the mountain top, the boy saw the gigantic monster. He sat still and waited silently until, from the other side of the mountain, he saw the bird shoot down like an arrow and peck the monster's head with its sharp beak. The monster, surprised, turned around and tried to swallow the impertinent little bird. Just then, the boy lunged at the monster's exposed tail and drove his sharp stone deep into the soft flesh of the beast. The monster flailed about in pain, but the boy held on to his tail, refusing to let go. One by one, he plunged all the sharp stones from his pocket into the monster's tail. Eventually, it proved too much for the mighty beast, and with a mighty thump, he fell to the ground. The brave little boy found the kidnapped princess and returned home to his mother. The brave little boy married the princess, and his bird friend was awarded all the bread crusts he could eat, and they lived happily ever after. The end. Okay, oh my god, that was a great story. 10 G's. Oh, and 100 G's. My. This looks like the boys' room. We just stole all their money. Yoink. That's what you get. Having 2 children is just making my head spin. They haven't started arguing with each other yet today, but this day's still young. These kids are always picking up stuff and hiding it around here. If you find anything strange, take it with you, alright? Yeah, I found some stuff. Thanks. Guess I should thank the boys. Give me that. 4 insect innards. Well, that's probably the strange thing. Okay. I think that is it for this house. Let's get out of here. Yeah, there was a little blue door symbol thing. General Kakanas turned the port into his personal army base. He forced the queen to go on that voyage with him. He thinks he's so special. 10G. I'm gonna skip talking to some of these people. Get some of these seeds here. Give me that. Give me that seed. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Five poisonous bones. Great snacks for kids. Okay, I'm not going to read out the Great Snacks for Kids book. Eastern Tribe Campaign. Under the rule of its 1,000-year queen, Numara enjoyed an unprecedented period of peace. The hypercurrents served as a barrier against outside invasions, and Her Majesty's policy of peaceful coexistence served to strengthen the nation. Numara first faced danger 500 years ago when an Eastern tribe wielding powerful spirit magic sent a massive force into Numara. The army entered from the southwest, clashing with our forces in a fierce battle in the lush forest that covers our region. This battle dealt a severe blow to Numara, although it's hard to imagine now. At the time, only a small handful of people, including Her Majesty, had magic abilities. The magical power itself was still weak, and much of the magic's inner workings are still a mystery. The Eastern tribe used its spirit magic to engage in warfare in the way Numerians had never imagined. As with black and white magic, spirit magic takes advantage of a mysterious unknown power, but its basic principle and methods are far from similar. In the end, the battle concluded with Numara's victory after Her Majesty reluctantly made us use her arsenal of black magic. The forest was soaked with the blood of Numerians and Eastern tribesmen, with countless dead on both sides buried where they lay. The battlefield known today as the Crimson Forest is now home to a legion of wandering spirits. Her Majesty, concerned with the danger that the forest poses, has prohibited entry into the woods ever since. Boy, okay, so there's a little backstory on spirit magic. Mana herb obtained. Okay, why on earth does my wife have to gripe about everything? Daughter-in-law is such a cruel individual, she hasn't stopped by for years. Wow. So cruel. Flare bomb. Mighty carapace. $10 Gs. Striking it rich. It's a Divinity reference for you. Great game, by the way. I should say Divinity Original Sin. Love that game. Man, so good. Alright, you know what? I'm going to head back. Because we've got some stuff that I need to find. And I'm fairly certain it's back here. So let's do that. Right, we're looking for something red. Right, because we need to find this kid's balloon. What was it? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, there we are. There's something here. Large balloon. Oh, what's this? I didn't even realize there's a little path back here. My mom asked me to go buy this thing, but they don't have... Oh, yeah, it's the same kid. Oh, what do we have here? Is this a... Oh, there we go. Model of a gondola obtained. Give me that gondola. This is just a dead end back here? Sad. Yeah, seems like there's nothing here. Okay. Alright. Well, I guess even Numara. Looks like Numara's got some homeless people. Sad. Sad. Okay. From my doll. Wow. Ah, my gondola model. Guess that was too easy for you. Oops. Talk to this guy. Bingo! That's my balloon. Nice work. Found all the treasures. Well, I guess you'll be the first grown-up to join our club then. And here's your proof of membership. I found this in the trash can over there. Pretty cool, huh? Don't be shy with it. Kilolon earrings. Okay. Very cool. Hey, wait. Wait up. Spoiled Kurumin? Huh? You're not my brother. Sorry, my sister must have caused some trouble for you. No, not really. Look, you're gonna get lost if you keep that up. I told you to wait while I get you the balloon, didn't I? Kime recalls a memory that was locked deep within his heart. Alright. Well, let me get my voice ready here, because it's time to dream. Alright, dream has been revealed. Don't forget me now, you hear. Brother dear, the cry comes from behind as he wades through the post-town's crowds. At first, Kime does not realize that the person is addressing him, and he walks on in search of lodging for the night. But the cry comes again, all but clinging to him. Brother dear, big brother. This is puzzling. He last visited the town 80 years ago. There can't be anyone here who knows him. Wait. Big brother, don't go. His puzzlement begins to take on an eerie edge, for the voice addressing him as Big Brother can only belong to an old woman. Without letting his guard down, he turns slowly. Just as he thought, it is an old woman. Dressed in the clothing of a young girl, the tiny old woman is looking straight at Kime with a bright smile on her face. I think you may have the wrong person, he says, allowing his discomfort to show. No, I don't, she says with a big shake of the head and an expanding smile. Your big brother Kime. What? That's wrong. Or what's wrong, Kime? Did you forget me? Well, I mean, he can't place her, even if he were to succeed in doing so. He knows he has no acquaintances in this town. He wonders, could this be a chance re-encounter with someone he once met on the road? But no, he is sure he doesn't recognize her. Strangest of all, why would this woman who looks old enough to be his grandmother address him as Big Brother? Don't pretend you don't know who I am, Kime. You're so mean. She yells at him loudly enough that people in the crowd stop and stare at them. It's not just the fact that she is shouting at the force. People always have to shout to be heard in these crowded streets. That alone would not attract attention. The old woman's voice is different from a normal adult yell. It is like the innocent, unrestrained cry of a little girl who throws her whole body into her scream. People turn shocked expressions on the old woman and quickly avert their eyes. Their dismay is understandable. The old woman has her stark white hair tied up with a colorful ribbon, and her dress has the same floral pattern and floppy sleeves as a little girl's. Many of the passerby look at the old woman with a mix of sympathy and pity on their faces. Gradually, Kime begins to comprehend the situation. This old woman has simply lived too long. This is why the past, locked away in her memory, has become realer to her than the reality before her eyes. A middle-aged passerby tugs on Kime's elbow. If I were you, I would just walk by. Don't get involved with her. She's nothing but trouble. It's true, says the wife by his side, nodding. You're a stranger here, so you don't know. But this old woman is senile. You can ignore her. She'll forget everything in 5 minutes. That may be right, but the fact is this old woman knows Kime's name. In the little girl part of her mind, she thinks of Kime as her big brother. He tries probing his distant memories. He spent no more than a few days here so long ago. He got to know very few people, and there can't be any of those left who still remember him. When Kime goes on standing before the old woman, the noisy middle-aged couple becomes indignant. You try to be helpful, and what does that get you? Snorts the husband. Let them work it out themselves, adds the wife. Let's just go, which they proceed to do. Winding up her voice for maximum shrillness, the old woman calls out to them as they walk off in a huff. Don't forget me now, you hear? In that instant, Kime's memory makes the connection. The old woman greets his look of recognition with an expression of joy. Do you remember me now? She cries. I'm Shushu. It's me, Shushu. Does he remember her, a little girl he met in this town 80 years ago? Perhaps 5 or 6 years old at the time, she was a precious little thing whose lack of shyness with strangers came from her being the daughter of an innkeeper. Somewhere along the way, she had probably picked up a phrase she heard someone using, and so whenever a guest would depart after a number of days at the inn, instead of a standard goodbye or thank you, she would see the person off with a smile and a cheery, don't forget me now, you hear? Only now, when he is suddenly able to see the girl beneath the wrinkles, Kime must avert his gaze from the old woman's face. What's wrong, big brother? He cannot bring himself to look directly at Shushu's vacant stare. 80 years have gone by. What can they talk about when a man who never ages meets a little girl from the distant past who has aged too much? Let me through here, please. Sorry, let me through here, please. Forcing his way through the crowd, a young man rushes up to where Shushu and Kime are standing. Great-grandmother, how often do I have to ask you not to go out without telling me? After scolding the old woman, he turns to Kime with an apologetic bow. Terribly sorry if she's been a bother to you. She's old and getting senile. I hope you can forgive her. Shushu herself, however, angrily purses her lips and demands to know. What are you talking about? I'm just playing with Big Brother Kime. What's wrong with that? She peers at the young man and asks, Who are you? The young man turns a sad gaze on Kime and begins to apologize again. With a pained smile, Kime stops him. Kime knows that, at times, it can be sadder and more heartbreaking for a life to be prolonged than for it to be cut short. Sad and heartbreaking though a life may be, however, no one has the right to trample on it. She just can't she just can't seem to get it through her head that she's old. Even if I hold a mirror up to her, she asks, "Who's that old lady?" The young man, whose name is Kash, further explains the situation to Kaim. She might forget that she ate breakfast, but her memories from childhood can be clear as a bell. Kaim nods in silent understanding. Kash and Kaim sit on a bench in the town plaza watching Shushu pick flowers. She is apparently making a floral wreath for her long-lost big brother. But really, sir, do you have time for this? Weren't you in a hurry to get somewhere? No, I'm fine. Don't worry. Thanks very much. He smiles for the first time and says, I haven't seen her this happy in ages. The young man seems convinced that his great-grandmother has encountered in Kaim a person who resembles someone she knew as a child. Kaim allows him this. He knows that Kash cannot, and need not, imagine the existence of a person who never ages. Her health has really deteriorated lately. Whenever she runs a fever, we wonder if this is going to be the end for her, and we prepare for the worst. But then she springs right back. Sometimes we joke that her mind is so far gone, she's forgotten to die. Kaim sees the young man in profile. Kash has a gentle smile on his face as he speaks of his great-grandmother. No doubt when he was little, she used to hold him and play with him. Grown up now, Kash watches over his great-grandmother like a parent watching his own child. He calls out to her, "That's nice. Great-grandmother, I haven't seen you weave flowers together like that for a long time." Squatting in the grass with a fistful of flowers, Shushu answers, "That's not true. I made a wreath for him yesterday." Then she says to Kaim, "Isn't that right, big brother? You wore it in your hair for me, didn't you?" Kaim cups his hands around his mouth and calls back to her, "I certainly did. It smelled so nice." Shushu's face becomes a mass of joyful wrinkles. Overcome with emotion, Kash bows his head. Kaim asks Kash, "Are you the one who takes care of her?" "Uh-huh, me and my wife Cynthia. How about your parents, or even your grandparents? Are they still living?" Kash shrugs and says, "I'm the only member of my family left alive." His grandparents both died in an epidemic 20 years ago. His father lost his life in the war that enveloped this area 10 years ago. His mother, Shushu's granddaughter, aged more rapidly than her own mother, and the lamp of her life was snuffed out 5 years ago. So my great-grandmother has had to keep holding funerals over the years for her children and grandchildren. Before we noticed, she had become the oldest person in town. It must be lonely living that way. "I'm sure," answers Kaim. "It might even be a kindness of the gods to let people fade out mentally when they have lived too long. At least that's how I've come to see it lately. You would think that she would feel lonely to be left behind that way, but she's not lonely at all. To live long means you have a lot of memories. Maybe it's not such a bad thing to live in the world of your memories during the last days of your life." Shushu stands up, her arms filled with flowers. "Big brother Kaim, I'm going to make a floral wreath for you right now. And if I have any flowers left over, I'll make one for this other person too." Kaim and Kash look at each other with bewildered smiles. "Why are you smiling like that?" Shushu asks. "Are you two friends now?" She opens her wrinkle-ringed eyes wide in surprise, gives the two men a joyful smile, and collapses into the grass. Kash starts to run for a doctor, but Kaim grabs his arm and holds him back, saying, "You'd better stay with her." Ironically, Kaim, who can never truly know what it feels like to age, has been present for that very reason at countless deaths over the years. His experience tells him that Shushu will not recover this time. Shushu's lying on her back where she has fallen, her armload of flowers now spread over her chest. Her face wears a smile. Wait just a minute, big brother Kaim. I'll make you your wreath for you right away." Her mind is still lingering among her memories of the past. Will she stay like this to the very end? "Keep fighting, great-grandmother. Don't let go." Kash clings to her hand, tearfully shouting encouragement, but she may not even realize that it is her own grandson. "It's me, great-grandmother. It's me, Kash. You haven't forgotten me, have you? Bathed you last night. You knew who I was then, didn't you?" Kash appeals to her with all his might, but Shushu, a girlish smile on her lips, is departing for that distant world. "I'm going to be a father soon, great-grandmother, remember? I told you last night Cynthia has a baby inside. It's going to make you a great-great-grandmother. Our family is going to grow, another person with your flesh and blood. Still smiling, Shushu grasps one of the flowers on her chest in her trembling fingers. She thrusts it toward Kosh, and in a voice no more than a whisper, she says, "Don't forget me now, you hear?" Kosh doesn't understand. Indeed, how could he know the little phrase she always used to speak long before he was born? Kaim puts his arm around Kosh's shoulder and says, "Answer her." "I know what you mean, great-grandmother. I won't forget you. I will absolutely never forget you. How could I forget my own great-grandmother?" "Don't forget me now, you hear? I won't forget you, great-grandmother. Believe me, I'll always remember you. Don't forget me now, you hear?" Shushu closes her eyes and lays her hand on the flowers on her chest. As if groping there for something, she seems almost to be trying to open the door where the memories are sealed. A soft breeze moves over her. The flowers adorning her chest dance in the wind along with the memories. Surely among those memories is the Kaim of 80 years ago. Kaim snatches at one of the petals dancing in the wind and closing it in the palm of his hand. Shushu will never open her eyes again. She has left on a journey to a world where there is no past or present. The only one she has left behind are Kaim, who will go on forever, and Kosh, who is about to welcome a new life into the world. Clinging to her corpse, Kosh raises his tear-stained face to look at Kaim. "Thank you so much," he says to Kaim the traveler. "Thanks to you, my great-grandmother was so happy to be picking flowers at the very end." "No, it wasn't thanks to me," Kaim says. He closes his fist on the petal in his hand and says to Kosh, "I'm sure she would have made a wreath. She would have given it to you, to your sweet new baby." Kosh shyly cocks his head and mutters, "I hope you're right." But then, smiling through his tears, he declares, "I'm sure you are." About that promise made to her, "Be good and don't forget her." No, of course not. People go on living as long as they remain in someone's memory. With these words, Kaim begins to walk slowly away. Behind him, he hears Shu's voice. "Don't forget me now, big brother Kaim. You hear?" It is the voice of the little girl from 80 years ago, ringing ever clear, sweet and innocent, declaring farewell to the man who will travel life forever. End. All right, that is it for this one. We are out of time. As always, hope the guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.